Hi class. So today we're going to be starting on step-by-step 3.1 and work our way through the rest of the chapter. We're going to learn how to create queries. And a query is just basically pulling out subsets of information out of our database so that we can view only pieces of it. To do that, it's basically creating a report as well. So to do that, let's open up Access and let's go ahead and pull up File Open. And let's go to Product, which you will find in your C drive. So you should have a list looking similar to this in your Lesson 3 folder. So let's pull up Product, go ahead and enable Content, and say Yes. Let's click on the Create tab at the top. Let's choose Query Wizard. And here's where we're going to start pulling information out of our database that's already in this document. To our left, we have two different tables with data in them. We have orders and then we have products. So we are going to choose here to pull from the products table. And within the products table, there are 5 pieces of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first thing that we want to pull over to our selected fields area will be the product name. So let's click on the product name and then choose the top arrow. When we click on it, it adds it to our list. Next, let's choose retail price. So what we're basically asking is out of the products table here, we want to see all the products names and the retail prices of those products. But we don't want to see what their product ID number is or the category that they're classified under or the number of units that we have available in stock. We only want to see the product name and the price. So we'll say next. We want detail to show. Let's say next. We want products query. For the name, let's highlight that though and change it to price list because we're asking for the product name and its price. So we're going to call this report or this query price list. And let's open the query to view the information and say finish. Okay, so now we have a list of all the products and the retail prices of those products. And if you look to your left, you'll see that under queries, we created one called price lists. I like to use the word queries and reports interchangeably because that's what they are. We're simply asked for a price list report from the data that was in the products table. Okay, now we want to do some rearranging of our products. We want to list everything in ascending order alphabetically. So to get our products names in alphabetical order, let's click on the title, product names, and select the entire column. Let's go to our home button and let's choose ascending. And then you'll see that it is now in alphabetical order. Okay, next let's choose descending and you'll see how everything flips. Okay, next let's make the retail price in descending order. So we'll click retail price, choose descending. Now let's pull out everything that has a product name that includes Oak Office Desk. To do that, we're going to choose selection in our sort and filter area. And, before we do that, let's click on Oak Office Desk for our product name and then go to selection. And let's select Contains Oak Office Desk. When we click on that, there's only one description that contains Oak Office Desk. Let's click on the toggle filter to unselect and take out that selection. Okay, let's try to find everything that has the word desk in it. So let's highlight the word desk in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th item down. Just double click on the word desk and highlight it, then choose selection, and then contains desk. So anything that contains the word desk in it will now be filtered. So we have 4 products that have the word desk in them. And again, to unselect that and take off that filter, let's just click the toggle filter and we get all of our data back. Okay, even though we've removed that particular query from our or filter from our query, we still need to delete it altogether. So let's go to the advanced option and let's apply clear all filters. And that way they're completely gone from that query. Okay, and that's a little confusing, but we did select some filters. We removed the filters, but they were still there, so we needed to actually clear them out. Okay, next we want to pull out all of the items that are priced $9.99. So to do that, we're going to go to Advanced and we're going to filter by form. And then we're going to click over in the retail price area and use our down arrow that has listed all the possibilities of prices in our database. So we're going to choose the one that says $9.99, and then we are going to use our toggle filter. So whenever we show all of the items that are $9.99, we get two. It's the DVDs and the 3-hole punch. Let's click our toggle filter to unselect that filter. Okay, next let's sort our retail price from smallest to largest again, but this time we have an arrow to the right of retail price. Let's click on that, and now we have an autofiller, and this opens with all of the options available to us, and let's choose sort smallest to largest. Okay, now we're done with this price list query, so let's close it by choosing the X on the far right hand side. And yes, let's save our changes. Earlier we made a query using the query wizard. Now we're going to use query design. It gives us a little bit more choices. The wizard is answering questions yes or no as you go throughout step by step, but the query design gives us a little more freedom to pick and choose things. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is choose query design, and we're going to work in the orders table instead of the products table. So let's choose orders, say add. So here we have our orders and the 4 pieces of data that are in our orders database. So here let's go ahead and close out this table. And then let's double click on the word orders so that all of our pieces are highlighted. And then we're simply going to click anywhere in the highlighted area, hold your mouse down, drag it and drop it into this field category. And you will then see that each one of those categories is now in the field category, and the table is all orders. Okay, next let's save this, and the query name is query 1. Let's go ahead and give it the name of orders list and say OK. Okay, so we have our orders number as our first column, products ID as our second, quantity ordered as our third, and order date is the fourth. We want to move order date in front of quantity ordered. And in order to do that, let's hover our mouse over the top of the gray bar above order date. Click once so you've highlighted the entire column. Then put your mouse in such a place that you have your pointer arrow. Click once, hold it, and drag it to until the black bar then falls in between product ID and quantity ordered, and drop it. So now we've moved the end column into the third position. Okay, let's put some things in order now. So under the order date, click on the sort cell, and then you'll have an arrow to the right of that cell. Click on it and choose ascending order. Okay, now let's change it to descending. So click on the arrow to the right of the sort box and choose descending. Okay, we're going to save this orders list by clicking our save button in the top. And next we want to run this query, which means we don't have the data pulled out yet so we can see it. We've only set up the parameters for that data to be viewed. So next let's choose run. When we run it, now we have our query. We have the order number, the product number, the order date, which if you remember correctly was the 4th place originally. We moved it to the 3rd place, and then the quantity ordered. Okay, so as we've looked through as I've looked through the step-by-steps, I actually had you put the order date in the 3rd position, and our step-by-step has asked us to put it in the 1st position. So we want to fix it now. So if we will click over here on our orders list, which is the query that we're working on right now, it says orders list at the top here. We want the orders list query here. Let's right click on it and let's go to design view. Now we have our screen back at the bottom where we can move things around. So we want the order date to be first. So let's highlight that column by getting our arrow, our down arrow, and clicking, and then let's highlight it or grab it with the regular arrow and move the black bar to the very first position. Okay, let's hit save and then let's hit run. And now our data has the order date first. Okay, next let's choose our view button in the top left hand corner of our home screen, and we are back to our design view. So now you've learned two different ways to do that. You can use your view button, or you can right click on your query itself and see design view. So either one works. Okay. Okay, next thing I want you to do is double click on your orders table. And as we look at this, we can tell that we have several order numbers on our first column, and then we have the products that were ordered by their ID number, and then we have the quantity ordered for each one of those items, and then the date that it was ordered. So let's say we want to have a list of only product numbers 1701. Well, we can look through here and then we could manually eyeball all of them that are 1701s, and we could get a calculator out and we could add up the total numbers ordered and get an idea of how many 1701s were ordered over a specific amount of time, but that's why we have queries. So let's go back to our order list query and choose view, and actually right click on it and choose design view. So under orders list, right click, choose design view, and now we're going to run a query that says give me a list of all of my orders that have a order number of 1701. So we're going to look under product ID, and we are going to go to criteria, and under the criteria box of product ID we're going to type in 1701 because that's the order number we want to see, and then hit our tab button. And because the product ID is technically labeled a text field, when we hit tab it put it in quotes. Okay, so now let's go up and hit save and choose run. Hopefully yours worked. Orders list 1701, and then save and run. Okay, so now we have a list of all of the products that were 1701, how many were ordered, and the dates that they were ordered. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and close out this orders list. And you'll notice that our queries still stand. Even though we've closed them out, we saved them, they're still there. We can go in and edit what we want, what information we want pulled from this particular orders list. So our databases or our queries are not gone. Just the last query that we ran is the one that was actually saved. And then anytime you want the data to be replenished based on, maybe new orders had been added that day, you can always go back to this queries area and use the run function and get the newest list from any changes that were made that day during the workday. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, okay, that takes us through step-by-step 3.7. We'll pick up on the next video for step-by-step 3.8 through the end of the chapter.